Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 76 of the GVGCast. I am joined today by my good friends and GVG partners, Derrick Bittner, Daniel Alba, and Steve Bowling, who is in the bathtub. We're doing our
Bathtub
first
boy.
four
Aw,
bathtub
yeah.
streams because we got some spicy $69 donations last week, which means we're all committed to doing a tub stream, or at least four of us are. So we'll be doing a bunch of these in succession, but this week it is Steve's turn. And my man, I'm just going to start with you because you are decked out in all the coolest, like, 90s looking gear. You're in the tub. How you doing, man? How's it feeling being back in the bathtub?
I'm a little drunk.
Okay.
I know you said
Okay.
you took a shot before this, so I assume that.
I took 3 shots
Oh,
before this.
Great.
Oh no!
I was not expecting that.
Oh,
Okay.
We're ready. We're
Okay.
ready today.
Listen, I gotta keep warm in here, gentlemen.
That's
It's cold
yeah,
in this water.
how about you? How about you prove to the people that there is water in that tub?
Oh yeah, baby. There's water in here.
You hear that?
And it's not getting any warmer.
Just
Oh,
adjusted
man.
you because how you're moving, so we're good there.
I'm gonna have to figure. Like, I haven't, of course. It's been over a year since I did my first bathtub stream, and I'm gonna have to like use my laptop to do it again. So that's gonna be interesting, jury rigging all that up again. But I'll get to that, and I'll get to that in a couple of weeks. Daniel, how are you doing this week, man?
Doing okay. Hanging in there. A lot of stuff happening this week. I kind of chilled out a bit. I wasn't really around too much. I was just kind of getting other stuff done in the background and just, doing our own things. Playing games. I'm sure we'll talk about that later too. But yeah, I'm just, just another week, honestly. Applying places. It's been a lot.
Definitely hear that. It's been a pretty hectic week on my end as well. But before I get to that, Derrick, how are you doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. Just finished up my birthday subathons. It went so long I had to do 2 of them. And then, hey, I don't know if I announced it officially or not, but yeah, we unlocked the Mega Man streams. Woo!
Nice.
All 64 games plus 2 extras where I'm going to be playing Azure Striker Gunvolt and Mighty Number 9. What a shame we did not reach Mighty Gunvolt Burst.
I'm so mad that you're going to play,
I know, I'm stuck playing Mighty
Number
Number 9, which is
Not the good
inevitably
one. Oh, no.
worse than freaking Mighty Gunvolt Burst, but it's at least I get to keep up the joke. Otherwise,
That's
I've been
true.
good. I got to
True.
play Star Tropics for the first time. That episode of Game Club will be going up on Sunday. And today I did a very, very silly video that'll go up on Monday. So
Very, very nice. Well, I have had a significantly less interesting last 24-ish hours.
I don't.
Yeah, so I've been in
I heard.
tax hell. I've been doing my taxes, and if anybody, yes, I deferred because I hate doing my taxes. Because if you've ever been self-employed or been a freelancer, which I have for most of my career, you know that taxes are absolute hell. And I've been
do
up
you not
all
have
night.
a tax person that you?
So I do. I do have a
Okay.
tax person who does all the actual documentation and filing for me, but I still need to calculate all my write-offs and do all the number
Oh,
crunching. and
Ash,
data.
do that as the time goes on. I do it monthly.
Yeah, I know. I should. It's just I don't. It's a pain in the ass. So I've been.
Oh,
up
I
all
know it
night.
is, but trust
Yeah.
me, it's much easier. That's why I try to do my taxes quarterly because. Ugh.
Yeah. I basically was number crunching most of the night into the morning, took a brief nap before this. So I'm kind of running on fumes, but I'm here. I'm good. I got some coffee with me. I got a half-eaten hot dog next to me. I couldn't be better. I'm living large, man. I'm doing really well.
My man crushing a hot dog on stream.
Yeah, exactly. But if I keep laughing slightly deliriously like this, like I have been, you know why? You know why? But before we move on, I do want to, of course, as always, shout out our amazing, incredible, wonderful sponsor, The Game Orb. The Game Orb is a YouTube channel that brings commentary and gameplay footage from the Nintendo Switch and Xbox Series X gaming systems. He's recently started streaming on Twitch as well, but it'll take some time to get into that groove and add new Twitch elements over time. And while it might not be for a while, the VODs for his Twitch stream will be available to watch on his YouTube channel in the future. His current goal is not only to reach affiliate status, but to do it before TwitchCon in October, which is very soon, obviously, so we can have the affiliate name on his TwitchCon badge. If you want to support him on Twitch, along with his YouTube channel, we've got links to both his Twitch and YouTube channels in the description. And please do, as I always say, go support him if you haven't, because he has been supporting us at our highest Patreon tier from the very beginning, and we could not be more appreciative. So go follow, go subscribe, like his videos, all that good stuff. Let's get him that affiliate badge on his TwitchCon badge. With also, speaking of patrons, as usual, we've got some birthday shout outs. Happy birthday to Shellshock, who is celebrating their birthday today. So happy
Very cool,
birthday
dude.
today. Yeah, happy
Yeah.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also, Lux Rai is celebrating their birthday tomorrow, September
Wait, what are they
30th.
selling though?
Sorry?
What are they selling?
Yeah, what are they
know.
selling? Come on,
Yeah.
don't leave that out.
But yes, happy birthday to Lux Rai as well. And I'm so sorry. There is one more that I'm going to find a little later that I missed. Oh, and Blaker36, who is celebrating their birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, almost birthday, Blaker36.
The last of our September birthdays. You are the best of the best.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
And then also speaking of patrons, we have breaking news. Welcome to Leo Flo, our brand new live audience member right here on YouTube Members. We have a YouTube Members account thing going on now where you can support us on Patreon. We've had a Patreon going since our launch, but if for whatever reason you can't or would rather not support us on Patreon but still want to, donate a little bit to our cause, you can now support us right here on YouTube Members. And we generally have our perks mirrored to the extent that we can from Patreon. Not everything comes over perfectly, can be replicated perfectly, but in general, what we have available to our patrons, we are making available at the same price to the extent we can.
Won't listen to this man.
Sorry.
Listen, we got different stuff on here. We've got badges, we've got emotes, or at least we're working on them.
Steve's
We're gonna have
Steve's the
unique
one that's been
things.
setting this up. So Steve,
Yeah, he's
pitch
I
us.
was gonna
Unique
throw it to
stuff.
you. Yeah, I
There's
was gonna throw
stuff
it to
here
you.
that isn't there. We tried to make it the same. You'll get the same Discord perks, but you get cool YouTube only stuff. You get emotes. You get badges that Daniel's designing right now. We'll have those, but stay tuned. It's early days, but we got cool stuff coming that you can only get on YouTube through the YouTube membership program. Check it out. Both platforms have their advantages and different things that they offer. So check them out. Check out the page. Go hit that membership button. Take a look. There's cool stuff there too, or at least there will be cool stuff coming.
Yes, please do. And yeah, thank you for. I was going to throw it to you, Steve. I appreciate you finishing the
I've
rest.
been drinking. I'm sorry.
As I said, he's primarily the one setting this up. So thank you for doing that, man.
We'll
And
hopefully
it's
have this
exciting
live
to hear.
sooner than later. Hopefully within the coming week or even or later. Hope soon.
It's
Soon,
possible.
TM.
Yes, exactly. And don't worry, no one is leaving GVG. Someone mentioned that in the chat. Our title today is in reference to Hideki Kamiya, who is leaving PlatinumGames, but we will get to that a little later. But yeah, so don't worry, no one's leaving. We're all good. We're all
The crew
staying here.
is stronger than ever.
Yes, and you'll hear more about that pretty soon. But for now, we've got some super chats to go through. Then we'll move on to our news for the week. First off, as always, we've got 4 super chats from Disney Duncan with a combined $14. Thank you so much. Tears of the Kingdom is your favorite game of all time. I think you mentioned that last week too, and it's still true this week. And I don't blame you. It's an amazing, incredible match.
It is.
It is.
Mhm.
What a game.
Hard agree.
Also, R.I.P. Michael Gambon. May he rest in peace. And I'm sorry to say I haven't heard about this.
Michael Gambon is probably best well known as the second Dumbledore.
Dumbledore, second Dumbledore. Yes, I did hear about this. I just don't know him by name. But yes, rest in peace, Mr. Gambon. Third up, doing an MRI Monday. Hope it's nothing serious. Well, we certainly hope it's nothing serious. And
Absolutely.
please do update us next week and let us know that you're okay. We are certainly all pulling for you. And then last one, WGA strike is over. Hope that the SAG-AFTRA strike ends soon too. Well, we'll be talking about that a little later, so stay tuned for that. Next up, we've got $10 from our good friend Jaden Buck. Thank you very much. The time has finally come. Crazy Question Friday's Crazy Question number 100.
Wow.
By the time you've passed away, what is the most important thing that you want people to remember you for? Ooh, this is
This.
yeah, this. That's
Absolutely this.
Yeah. I want people to remember, hopefully, remember me for being as kind to as many people as possible and just showing kindness and humility to all the people around me, to all the people in our amazing audience. I just want to be remembered for my kindness and compassion. I think those two characteristics are more important than anything, and I try to embody them as much as I possibly can. What about you guys? Derrick, we'll start with you.
Yeah, we'll go back to a childhood dream of mine and see if I can make it happen. I'd love to write a book.
Nice.
I'd love to write a book
Very
and
cool.
just get something like that out there. So there we go. Not as extravagant as Steve and his like he said it. He set a good goal.
Let's be real for a sec. The glasses come off. My children's legacy. I want my children to do something wonderful.
Nice.
There you go.
That's Dad talking.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer. Or as Raph would say, good answer. Good answer. What about you, Daniel? Mr. Alba, are you there?
Oh, he is there. He's just not coming through. His
Oh no,
mic is not working. Oh no.
That's all right. That's all right.
no worries. We will come back to you, Daniel.
I will
no
speak
worries.
for-
Does that work instead?
There he
he's
is.
back.
There we
Okay.
go.
Okay.
I hope at some point, I don't know when or where, but like the designs that I make will persevere somewhere. The videos that people see me in and the content that we've made can still be watched years from now. And people can still remember us for that. I don't know what in the world the state of like preservation will be like when we're at that point. Like, where will these videos be? Will they still be just here in some kind of archive? But I hope that that kind of stuff remains and that we've been able to at some point still keep the vibes going good for as long as we can, even if we're not here anymore. That sounds morbid, but you know.
No,
Dead Vibes Gaming.
Hey, you know what? No, GVG is eternal. We'll still be here. It'll just be cyborg versions of ourselves. We'll have our
There we go.
souls and our spirits transplanted into cyborg bodies. So you can't get rid of us. Next up, Dion Huynh. I hope I said that right, Dion. With $2. Thank you so much. Derrick, they've added the Angry Beavers talking about Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl 2 . And yeah, we saw that earlier.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Love that
saw.
show.
That was always the one I always liked the most. I wanted most in the first one, and so it's cool they finally got added to this one. I've not kept up with Nickelodeon All Stars, but I did look at the leak very early on, so I'm like, yeah, I knew they were in. So it's cool.
Yeah. And they showed off Gerald today too, and from Hey Arnold, and it like kills me that we got Gerald, we got Arnold's grandma, and we did have Helga. I don't know if she's coming back for 2, but we got 3 Hey Arnold characters, but not Arnold himself, which is just odd to me. But hey, cool.
You can't have the pacifist hitting everybody.
I know he says
right?
he's a pacifist. It makes
Also-
sense. It's just weird.
Also, I wonder if it's a matter of the profile of his head would just be so awkward at certain
It's-
angles.
You know,
Like,
that's
Yeah,
probably a good point.
that's a good
like-
point. Yeah,
I don't know, but I'm not a dev, so that's just my
Yeah.
perspective on it.
right. Next up, $5 from Leo Flo, our newest live audience member here on YouTube members. Thank you so much. Asking me, would I prefer a Mega Man Legends or Mega Man X Command Mission remake? You just replayed Command Mission and you still dig its story. Straight up, Mega Man Legends. As much as I love, obviously, Mega Man Everything and Mega Man X, I thought
That's
Command
not
Mission
even a
was...
contest.
I mean, I know, it's just Command Mission was very mid to me. I think the story is kind of interesting, but like, I don't know. Command Mission always came off as just very mid. It's not bad. It's just not great. But Legends is legendary. And Legends is so special that I would much rather see a Legends remake for sure.
That being said, Command Mission could benefit most from a remake.
Good point. Good point. If they could tweak it in the right ways and make it a little bit more interesting, I think Command Mission could be a lot
But
better.
Legends lead to a Legends 3.
That's also a good point. Yeah, that's the hope.
That's also the thing.
Get
Yeah,
Mega Man off the moon, baby.
Yep.
exactly.
I need
Although I will
that.
say, Command Mission has one of the best X designs.
It does.
You know, that is so true, and that's maybe the one reason I'd be like, why, like I'd love to have that, just to have new key art of X in that amazing design with the cool
Is that
energy
the one with
scarf.
the cape?
The scarf, it's the
Yeah.
energy scarf.
scarf,
And he looks
scarf.
so damn cool. I love it.
He does.
Yeah. All right, and then one more for now. 129 Mexican pesos from H Toast Art. Thank you so much. Not going to be able to join live since I have family visiting, but I'm excited to catch up tomorrow. Very excited to see the return of the tub streams. Well,
Oh yeah,
you'll be seeing
baby.
those for at least the next month. Oh, and I missed. Yes, I did miss
thank
one.
you.
Thank
I was
you.
gonna
We're,
say,
we're gonna put John in the tub.
I did
We
miss one
need
from
to.
our good friend Mix Becca's $20. Thank you so much, Becca. You're welcome, everyone. Referencing the fact that she did indeed help
She put
contribute.
me here.
Yep, she put you here. She started the whole secondary tub fund thing, which is putting us all back in the tub for the next month at least. So thank you. I think everyone in the audience is thanking you right now, Becca. So yeah, as always, I will read out more super chats as they come in later in the show. But for now, we have got some news to talk about, and let's just go ahead and start with the stuff in the thumb. I put, of course, Hideki Kamiya and Sage from Sonic Frontiers in the thumb today, and let's go ahead and start with Kamiya because he is an industry legend and he is leaving PlatinumGames after his long vigil there, and he's leaving the company, disassociating himself from his IPs like Bayonetta, and he's moving on. And the rumor is that he's going to be shacking up with a Chinese company. We don't know that for sure yet. But he says this came after a lot of consideration based on his own beliefs and was by no means an easy decision to make. And man, talk about the end of an era. And Derrick, I know you're a big Bayonetta fan, man. How is this making you feel right now?
It's an interesting thought because Kamiya is very odd. Like, he obviously has so many fantastic projects, but also, like, I don't know. I'm at an odd place because I think Platinum would be fine, but I also wonder if that's a knock against Platinum. Like, should we be concerned? I'm not sure about that one. It's yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Dan Alphaline mentions he hasn't directed a title since Wonderful 101. He
point,
was supposed to direct Project GG, which who knows what state that's in, or at least be a producer on that one.
Right. That's the thing.
I don't know about that one, but Kamiya moving on, it'd be interesting to see what he ends up with. It'd be kind of funny if he ended up back at Capcom of all things, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think so. You know, I mean, not that there's ever any hope for an Okami 2, really. I mean, that's, you know, as you all know, Okami is my second favorite game ever, and I've wanted a proper sequel for so long now. Okami Den's more of like a side story.
I
don't
disagree.
think you think there's a chance still?
Well, he had said previously that he wanted to do.
Oh, I know
Okami
he
2.
wants to. Yeah,
and I think that Capcom would welcome him. I don't think.
But do you think they would actually pull the trigger on Okami too? That's
what I
the
mean.
question.
Like, I don't think Capcom.
I think that if Kamiya made the jump to Capcom, it would be contingent upon being able to do Okami 2.
Right. And I just don't think I don't think he's going to go to Capcom. We don't know yet, but my
realistically, I don't
belief
believe that's where he's going. I just don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility. I think he's going to pull like an Iga and go independent and do.
Let's hope it's an Iga, not an Inafune.
Right.
Yes, please. He does say that he'll continue to create in his Hideki Kamiya way, which is definitely a good thing because there's no one quite like him. But yeah, I mean, Steve, I want to join you in your hope, man. I would love to believe that there's still a chance that maybe Capcom will bring him back for Okami 2, but I know better than to hope for things.
I don't mean to disparage the man, but that's the thing I want from him. So.
Yeah, me too. Daniel, you have any thoughts on Kamiya's departure, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't directed anything in a long time, so it's interesting to see where he might go from here. He has such a vibrant personality on social media.
That's a way to say it.
But he's fairly pretty chill and down to earth when you like are with him in person. So it's really just a character, and it's I'm wondering where he'll take this from here onward. Like, I will he direct something else? I want to see him direct something else. I love the games that he puts out. But I don't know. It's interesting to see what Platinum's going to do from here on. Because I mean, do they need Kamiya?
I want to know the why of what happened here.
That's the interesting part, I think.
Because I feel like the last couple Platinum games were excellent. I don't think Bayonetta 3 was world breaking, but neither were Bayonetta 1 and 2. Right. And Bayonetta Origins is my favorite game in the series by a landslide. So Platinum's been doing fine.
Wow. Yeah. It is odd. I mean, he said he did say in his tweet that it's according to his own beliefs. So that's interesting in itself. That I wonder if that means that maybe his philosophy has kind of parted ways from Platinum's like game design philosophy. Who knows? That's just me reading into it. But he does specifically say the decision was made based on his own beliefs. So that also could just be, auto translate being weird.
Yeah.
But
interesting note here from the Oxen. I did not realize this, but Bayo 2's director returned to Capcom to work on World Tour for Street Fighter 6.
Oh, I didn't realize
that's
that.
wild. I've seen few people say that Platinum employees have returned to Capcom at different points. So.
Right. Well, hopefully in a few years we can repurpose that message into the Wonderful 101's director return to Capcom to work on Okami 2. That would be really, really nice.
Okami in the RE engine.
Oh my God! Don't even. Oh God! I can't even imagine.
We can't tease Ash like that. His heart can't take it.
I also have to shout out Lanter here in YouTube chat saying Devil May Cry 6 featuring Kamiya from Platinum May Die series.
That's
a
not
good
really
one.
his series anymore. That
It's not.
has
It's
been
not.
claimed ever
But
since Devil May Cry 2. Like he had a bad game, but
yeah,
that director was like, no, no, I'm fixing this. This is not happening again with Devil May Cry 3 and beyond. He's just on
right.
fire. Kamiya isn't really necessary for Devil May Cry.
Right, exactly. All right, well, let's move on to our other big news story that's represented on the thumb. And I know Steve has a lot to say about this, and so do I. But Sonic Frontiers' final update is out now. It's out today, in fact. It's called The Final Horizon. It is the long-awaited, by Sonic fans at least, story DLC that apparently I haven't played it yet myself. It's coming soon. But apparently it promises to redo the whole final battle, which, if you know, you know. We're not talking spoilers here. Don't worry for those of you who haven't played it, which is probably most of you since it just came out. But yeah, it's out, and John has played it, and he's got some thoughts coming at some point. But unfortunately, none of us here have had the chance yet. I wanted to play it last night, but again, I was in tax hell, so I can't. But I'm gonna tonight. I'm in the last few hours of Sea of Stars, and then I'm moving right on to Sonic Frontiers.
That's okay, Ash. From what I hear, this DLC is quite taxing, so you didn't really miss out on
Nice.
much.
Yeah, well done, sir. Yeah, so I've heard. I think we've all heard some interesting mix of things, especially with regard to level design. I saw one era post, unfortunately, comparing the level design in the Final Horizon to Mega Man X6, which is a terrible thing if that's true. For
Your
her
favorite.
part, our good friend Cutie Caitlin in our patron audience said that is not true, that she doesn't agree with that. So that gives me some hope. But, you know, I'm there regardless. Sonic Frontiers was flawed, but I still enjoyed it despite those flaws. And I want to play it. But Steve, I know you're raring to go, man.
Well, I'm
Tell us what
chomping at the bit, my man. I
you
mean,
take this away, man.
so for real, I haven't played it, and if you follow me on Twitter, I've been playing Spider-Man 2, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with me that that's more important right now.
Much more important.
But I will say this: I didn't click with Sonic Frontiers at all through the whole game, and the DLC not being good in the eyes of the majority of people who have played it is not a surprise to me. Like I'm not even shocked because I don't think the game was good, and so
Right.
the DLC itself not being good is not surprising to me. That being said, I'm still going to play it. It's still a Sonic game, and I play every Sonic game. I think they were wise to get this out before Superstars because to me, as soon as Superstars drop, Frontiers ceases to exist. So, you know, I'm excited to try it. I want to see what this new supersonic form they teased in the trailer is, but that's
Me
the only
too.
reason I want to play it.
I want that, and I don't know if any of you have seen the release trailer for the Final Horizon, but the music,
I did.
there's a new song in it, and it slaps so hard. So you know me, I can't wait to hear all the new music because I love Frontiers' soundtrack. Period. Very nice, Steve. What is that? String cheese?
String
That's
cheese.
string cheese.
I love it. I love it. What a
I have
throwback.
snacks.
Yep.
Just
Soak up that
Dan,
alcohol.
I'm living my best life right now.
are you? I assume you're pretty cold right now, right? Has the
I'm
tub water?
freezing.
Okay. Okay.
And he's not in
Gotcha.
Arizona anymore. He can't go outside and warm up.
Yeah, it's like 50 degrees outside.
Daniel, are you angling to play the Final Horizon anytime soon?
well, is big in it. I don't know if I'm angling for it. If he's in
Nice.
there, I'm there for
Well
chilling for some
done.
more fishing mini games. That was some like lo-fi beats to fish with Big Two. I love that section. But as far as actually playing the DLC, yeah, I'm gonna play it eventually. I enjoyed. I mean, Sonic Frontiers is the best mid game I've ever played. So you know, I'll describe it that way.
That's a good way to
Um,
put it.
But yeah, I mean, this is like the era in which we're getting Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy are like really having the spotlight right now. So I want to keep that. I want to keep playing those. And I mean, I like with Steve, I'll play every Sonic game that comes out because I'm just a big Sonic
Oh, yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
But as far as what I've heard, not promising because and it's disappointing because you're playing as Tails and Knuckles and Amy in like a mainline Sonic game for the first time in how many years? And I want them to
17,
like
I
have
think?
a proper return to form if possible.
I know.
But I mean, I guess I won't know until I actually jump in and find out. Like, is this second super form as like majestic and amazing as we think it is? That's pretty much going in just to find that out as well. They really knew what they were doing to like tease you with that, so you'll play the DLC.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
and I mean, you've touched on something really important there. I do believe it's been 17 whole years since we've been able to properly play as Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, or anyone other than Sonic. I think yeah, since Sonic 2006, and that's a big deal. I have been super looking forward to playing as them again in a 3D context.
hmm
Hopefully, they at least are fun to play as. Again, mixed things, but I've mainly heard mixed things about the level design. So hopefully, they're fun to play as, just because it's been so long coming. But I think we all hope that maybe this is all leading up to a proper Sonic Adventure 3. Who knows? That would be the dream.
oh
What about you,
man,
Derek? You never finished Frontiers, right?
No, I only finished the first island. I actually didn't. I didn't quite take on the boss for the first island. I was almost at that point.
Okay.
That's sort of where I stopped. So I hear this might be the best time to play now, but I'm hearing from a lot of people that the new challenges are hard, especially for Sonic. Like they just cranked up that difficulty, and
Yeah.
I think it's like, what is it, the snake pit, or is it snake or tiger? For whatever reason, I can't remember exactly, is just a notorious one where it's just incredibly difficult. And I mean, okay, it is snake.
oh
It
boy.
is snake. Yeah. Apparently it is just a rough time, but if you need tips, John, apparently somebody sent how you handle that to John's Twitter. So he responded to that one. So look for one of his quote
Oh yeah.
retweets,
Oh, that one.
and you can sort of see how you maybe do that properly, I guess, because they seem to handle it pretty well. But yeah, from everything I hear, it's kind of rough. Each character has something that makes them just a little bit off, and I think Sonic fans will still gravitate towards it. They'll find something good about it, but there's definitely, this is not like a icing on top. This is like an okay, like uh fruit salad nearby, like
Fruit salad.
with a few rotten pieces in there. You just pick those out and hopefully I don't
Not
know.
even
My metaphor is going all over the place, but don't worry about it.
not even a chili dog salad. Although that sounds really gross now that I say it out loud. I
What
don't
in
think
the
I'd ever want
world
to eat a
is that?
chili dog salad.
Ugh.
Yeah, right. That doesn't sound good at all. Yeah, so I'm going to be playing it soon myself, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it's unfortunately the best way to cap off Sonic Frontiers. But I'm a Sonic fan, like as we all said, especially you, Steve. I'll play whatever he's in. I'm playing it because I love Sonic. So
I can't hate on it too hard because it's free though. If
True.
it was paid, I'd be angry.
Mhm.
But
that
I
also,
mean, even free DLC. I mean, if you already got the
yeah.
game,
And it
just give
seems
it a shot
pretty
anyway.
massive for free DLC, so
And that's a good point. I have actually
Yeah.
gone back after each wave came out and like gotten like the music tracks they added and stuff. And I did the most recent one actually just like last week, and that kind of got me reacclimated with the controls and such. So I'm hoping that'll maybe give me a bit of a head start on all these apparently really tough levels instead of like not having played it for a year, because it's so much harder to get back into something when it's been that long. So hopefully that helps a little bit. We do have one other bit of Sonic news, but before that, we have I have to interrupt this for a moment because we have breaking news. $69, another $69 donation from our good
God.
friend Cutie Caitlin, who says, Becca carried the torch of tub streams, but I felt like I needed to contribute once more. Hashtag long live the tub. Hashtag John in a tub. Well, here's what's interesting. John is already in the tub because we got a super thanks after GVGcast last week in the amount of $69, which that committed John to the tub, or the fourth one of us, and I think we agreed it's John. So now
Dang.
it's either you,
I'm
Daniel, or
looking at
Brandon.
Daniel right now.
I think
I'm
Daniel.
looking at his window, just waiting for him to realize what's about to happen.
So are you ready and down for a tub stream, Daniel?
If I can even manage to set up in there,
No,
the proper tub isn't even in my bathroom, so I don't know how I'm gonna arrange that with the family. They're gonna be like,
just go
It's
to,
awkward.
you're in San Francisco. Go to a bathhouse. Film from there.
There you go.
oh my god.
Well, we'll have to ask how Brandon's setup is, if he can feasibly do a bathtub stream. But if it isn't actually feasible for you, Daniel, one of the or Brandon,
I'll go again.
yeah, one of us can do it twice. It's not. Steve's always down to do a bathtub stream.
I'm
so,
always down for this. This is my life now.
yeah.
I live here.
This is his legacy. He has to continue
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
legacy.
Exactly. All right. Well, one more little bit about
Tuck's
Sonic.
paying. Steve isn't double dipping. He's double dripping.
Nice.
That's right.
Nice. You're on top. You're on top of your
Especially with those shades.
I have 3 years of
Listen,
dad.
listen.
I have 3
You
years of dad.
You throw in
I'm-
another $69 donation, the shirt will be off for the next one.
Oh God.
We'll move this
And-
to OnlyFans, baby.
And just like that, GVG was
Only tubs.
demonetized forever until the end of time.
Nobody wants to see that, nor do I. But
Yeah, right.
if the price is right,
One little bit of other Sonic news it's really welcome to hear is that Superstars is confirmed to run at 60 FPS on Switch as well, which I think we were all obviously hoping for that. You never know sometimes with Switch ports of games, but I would not want to play a 2D Sonic game at 30 FPS, I can tell you that much. So, yeah, good news for people who plan to buy it on Switch.
I like how you say sometimes you never know. It's unexpected for a Switch game to be 60 FPS.
That's true, but occasionally they surprise you. Occasionally you get some good.
I'm very pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Superstars running at 60 FPS on the Switch is a blessing because it didn't even run at 60 FPS on PS5 at Summer Game Fest. So I'm very happy Psycho was able to make that work.
Yeah, it had some major. When I played it at San Diego Comic-Con, it actually was the demo I played was running at 60, but man, were there massive frame drops. There were some major performance issues within that 60 FPS. So, of course, early build though. So I was never too concerned, and it's good to know that they have done the right thing here and committed to 60 FPS on Switch. Hopefully, it is a smooth, uninterrupted 60 FPS, but we'll see soon. It's out like in 2.5 weeks. Or something. It's like coming up so soon.
It needs to come out now.
Yeah, exactly.
You're busy playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You can never have too many games.
Yes, you can.
That's true.
Yeah, you can. I am so excited for you though, man. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Spider-Man 2. I'm jealous. Can't wait to play it myself.
October 16th. That's the only thing I can say.
Right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. And where one strike ends, another begins, because the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA members have approved a strike against the game industry, and a whopping 98.32% voting yes to strike against the game industry. And now that doesn't mean they necessarily are striking immediately. They actually went to go and try to strike a new deal with game companies before actually striking against them. But those negotiations have since concluded with no deal reached. So it sounds like there is a strike on the horizon.
Decision on the game industry part.
Yeah, sounds like there's a strike on the horizon. No pun intended. But yeah, again, pay people what they're worth, and it's an open secret, not even secret really, that video game voice actors are not compensated well. Neither are anime voice actors really. It's been kind of a common problem unless you're one of the big names. It's a tough racket out there for game voice actors. So hopefully they get what they need to out of this. I know one of the things they're striking for is protections against AI replacement, which of course is super important. Derrick, go ahead.
Oh, that's basically what I was going to say. It's just that's a huge one because you're just protecting your own job, and that was one of the key tenets of the WGA getting their deal, and they've defeated that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very possible for the Screen Actors Guild to hold on just as long and get what they deserve. And, I'm okay with this happening for the video game industry as well, and make that common practice.
Yeah.
We can work on our backlogs.
Exactly. It's really demoralizing to think that people have to strike for that, to have to strike for protections against being replaced by AI. It's a new age with the proliferation of AI. I don't think it's necessarily a good one, at least not in the way.
It's just a straight up bad one. You don't even need to be nuanced about that. It's not good.
Well, the way I'm seeing it is like anything else, like social media. It can be used for positive things, but it often is.
But
not.
how?
I
legit have that question.
It
How?
pains me to say this.
But
Amy provided me recently an example of it working out, where she used CPT because she has struggled coming up with what she wants to say about herself for this. She's working on her own personal business that's getting close to getting ready, and she had to do an about page. So what do you say about yourself? How do you talk about yourself? How do you upsell yourself? Most people have a difficult time doing that. So she broke down and used a ChatGPT thing, put in some keywords, and they wrote out this thing, and she edited it afterwards, just ironed it out quite a bit, but it helped her immensely. And that's the only case I can think of, because screw it for
Right.
screw it for voice acting, screw it for writing entire things, screw it for artwork, screw it for the Brandon Bovia having to do with deal with it for lettering in manga. That looks terrible. No, that's the only helping out the like for basic stuff like that where you can just cut down the work or make it a little bit easier so you can edit so you can have a little bit easier time. That's the only case I can see.
Right.
Yeah. Fair point.
And
fair
Becca's
point.
in the live audience has a good one for spreadsheets. So there you go.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, the more that I hear about, people, really, having to strike to protect against this stuff and people actually being replaced by AI, the more real Horizon Zero Dawn's future seems to become. It feels like we're careening toward a very scary dystopian future like the one we see in Horizon. But hopefully we'll course correct at some point. Daniel, we haven't gotten your thoughts on this yet, man. Anything you want to add? Uh-oh. Have we lost you again?
Make sure I'm actually there.
There you go. You're back.
I was trying to say something and then it cut me out again.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of applications we see this in that just doesn't help. I mean, people are trying to get paid, artists are trying to get paid, people who do voice acting. These are jobs that need human touches to them, of human voice, a human hand. Like you can tell when it's like, especially with art, like God, when you see how oily and sloshy that the like how plastic people look with AI art, it's just gross. Like, don't do that. It's so wrong. And then now you see it more and more commonly with voices as well. I know I'm friends with associated and I've talked to some voice actors in the community and they've mentioned how like sometimes they don't get paid on time at all, when they should be paid. Like there are larger companies that don't pay these people when they're supposed to be paid for the work that they put into. And for bigger companies too, like you should be able to have the people managing this sort of thing a lot better. And to know that there are some people that are actually using AI to replace these people who are trying to make a living. It's just upsetting. Like, why would you do that sort of thing when it makes your product that much more soulless? If you're doing something creative, it's supposed to be creative, not putting it through a machine and pushing it out that way. It just doesn't make any sense.
As so many people point out, why are we using the robots to do creative work? They're supposed to be doing the menial labor. We got things mixed up here.
That is so true. Although the latter could lead up to the robot uprising, right? I mean, it's a lose-lose situation no matter what. Remember how embarrassingly awful the Secret Invasion opening was? It was all AI generated.
But I heard about it.
It was. You should look it up at some point, Derrick. It is. Marvel obviously is known for their production values a lot, and a lot of their stuff looks really good. But that Secret Invasion opening is embarrassing.
I don't know. I'm hearing that Marvel specifically is definitely pushing special effects teams towards strikes as well. So
I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it at all.
Man.
Well, this is a bit of a downer news story, so I think we'll get both of our downer news stories out of the way at once, and then we can end on something just kind of fun and interesting. So unfortunately, Epic Games have laid off 16% of their staff, which is around 870 people, which is just gross and awful, including much of Fall Guys' studio, Mediatonic, which is a personal oof for me because I've gotten so many hours of fun and laughs out of Fall Guys. I play with my friends every week. And we've bought a couple of the premium passes over the years, but we're not doing that anymore. We refuse to spend any more money on Fall Guys in the wake of this announcement. And this sucks, man. For Mediatonic to have been bought out like that and then much of their studio be laid off in this round of firing. I hope everyone lands on their feet. It's an easy thing to say, of course. The reality is much, much worse than that. But yeah, it's really just gross. And Tim Sweeney, the CEO of Epic, of course, had something to say about this. He blames slow Fortnite growth, which is tied to user shifts toward lower margin creator content. That's great. He can blame whatever he wants, but how about he take a pay cut instead of firing almost 900 people? Come on.
He banked his company on Fortnite forever growing.
Yeah.
Fortnite's big. It does not lead to infinite growth. There's a limit, and he just messed around and they bought all these tech companies. They spent all this money they really didn't need to, and Yeah, they messed up. They just like, oh, we're gonna have all these business decisions that'll totally come back. It's the Embracer Group all over again, where they just got like, ah, we can make this happen and do this, and oh God, it's too much, and we can't pay it, and now it's all gone, and the little people get punished, and the CEOs nothing. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna take any. He's not. I cannot see many big American CEOs doing pulling in a WADA, where it's like, no, the people are important. I will take a pay cut so we can keep the people around because they are the lifeblood and that's what we need. No, they don't care. It's like, they're easily replaceable. We can just find more.
That'll never happen here in the U.S. for sure. No. It's so gross, and I mean, I've said that. What else can you really say about it? Steve or Daniel, do you have anything you want to add to this unfortunate news?
Well, I mean, they tried to basically copy Valve, right? They, got their money off of one game that did really well, and then they opened a marketplace to buy games. And the difference is that Steam took off and EGS didn't. Yeah. And I think that Epic knew that Fortnite was going to lose Steam, pardon the pun, eventually. And now they're faced with the reality that their gamble on their own marketplace for games didn't pay off. And so they started spending money because, like Derrick alluded to, they just didn't see the Fortnite money running out anytime soon. And I think it dried up faster than they expected. Fortnite is still obviously insanely popular, but not enough to suspend just unbridled spending forever.
Aren't they also supported by Tencent, which also has a ton of money? Like, they just spent that much money that recklessly.
Well, I mean, you think about it, they were buying all those, free games, right? They were doing free games without any type of monetary requirement from us. Mm-hmm. So you go to EGS every month, you'd get a free game for nothing. It was like having PS Plus without having to pay anything. So I'm sure that cost Epic loads of money to give all those games out. And I'm sure it cost them loads of money to build that store and buy those exclusives. Because I remember a while back, it came out that they were spending like hundreds of millions for timed exclusives on EGS. And the problem is people would just wait them out until the game came out on Steam. So I think that Epic has just made a number of boneheaded decisions. And like you said, Ash, instead of having Tim Sweeney take a pay cut, they punished the people who were doing the work as directed by him.
Yeah, and it really, and we've got a lot of people talking about this in chat as well, but it really underscores how special a soul Iwata was to have done that, to have taken the pay cut when they were struggling through the Wii U years, just to keep his people around and keep them well fed and paid and taken care of. That is a next level incredible move.
Well, the difference is a lot of these CEOs come from other companies where they've always just been at the top, and they did not work their way up like Iwata does. He knows the programmers, he knows the people, he knows how that all goes, and there's no connection like that with most CEOs.
And as Squire also pointed out in our Patron chat just now, Miyamoto took the pay cut right next to him too. That is also true. Mm-hmm. Just absolute just star move right there. And it just bears repeating. We all hope everyone lands on their feet as quickly as possible, and we're just so sorry out there to everyone affected by this layoff. It's just terrible, terrible news. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and end off our news this week and something a little lighter, something a little more upbeat. And this is actually a follow-up from something we talked about last week, which is the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection. And last week we were talking about the official performance breakdown by platform. But this week we've gotten a little bit of news that the Master Collection version of MGS1 will let you create like virtual PS1 save data for specific games to recreate Psycho Mantis's lines in his boss fight. So for those, if you haven't played it, there's a boss named Psycho Mantis. He's a mind reader, and if you had save files from certain games on your PS1 memory card, he would kind of break the fourth wall and say something like, "You like playing Castlevania, don't you?" Stuff like that. And if you don't know what he's doing, if you don't know how it's happening, it's like a what the hell moment. And so they're recreating that and letting you have the games on your memory card that you want, so he'll say those lines. And that's just the coolest thing. I'm so glad Konami are paying enough attention to include such a little detail like that.
Mm-hmm. It'd be funny if they kept the Super Mario Sunshine line as well.
I know, right? I wish they could. Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
No, that was it.
Oh, cool.
I was just about to say, Like if they could, because for Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes on GameCube, there was specific ones for Nintendo memory card data,
Right.
and there's like with Smash Brothers Melee, he was like Super Mario Sunshine and things like that, where you could
Yeah.
actually hear the voice for him. They re-recorded pretty much everything for that, I think, and they took that into account as well.
Really
But
cool.
apparently, that's only for PlayStation, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Soulcaster asking, wasn't it Konami games? Yes, other than, of course, with the Twin Snakes, as Daniel was just saying. For the original version of MGS1, it was other Konami games, like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Gradius Deluxe Pack, as I'm looking at here. And what's really cool is that the Japanese version specifically allows you to create data for Police Knots and Snatcher, which, of course, were not in the US. So they're really going all in on this, and it's just a fun little detail that I'm glad they didn't forget about, you know?
Yeah, it's
To
very cool.
just re-record lines for titles that are on PS5 today, that'd be even better.
That would be so cool. Although it's not as though Konami have really many titles of late to record anything about.
Get David Hayter getting there. It's like, what the hell's a Horizon?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I love it. All right, well, that is it for our news for the week. I'm going to go ahead and read out a few more Super Chats, and then we'll move on to the week's patron topics. So first off, we've got a pair of Super Chats from our friend RecBCQ, $5 each. Thank you so much, saying, Ash is tire drunk and Steve is actual drunk. Beautiful. Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, yeah.
It's great combination. And then Rec also... Oh, good. Steve?
I was just gonna say I have this can of noodles here. I'm trying to figure out if I should eat.
Yeah,
don't know.
when you got to
Put
put
it
noodles
in front of your
Anybody
face.
dare
Like,
me
we
to
can't even
open
see
it?
the noodles. What kind of noodles are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, my...
My
Oh,
sister dropped these.
Chef
by.
Boyardee. Oh, God.
Just a
Boyardee.
can of Chef Boyardee.
Just
That's
right from
amazing.
the can.
Not even
love the
warm.
90s love.
Oh, God.
No, it's not. If
So
you don't
good.
want me to open this,
I'm-
you know
I'm-
what to do.
I'm sorry, Steve. That won't warm you up.
Yeah.
I don't think it will. It's very cold in here.
It'll give you even more regret, actually.
What did you say, Daniel? What did you say, Daniel?
Oh, no. I just said it's gonna fill him with more regret, actually.
Oh,
I've been eating nothing but expired snacks throughout this whole show.
cold hard regret.
I didn't realize they were expired until I started eating
This is
them.
just your chance to
Oh,
clear out
no.
the cupboard.
Oh no.
It is.
You're gonna have a rough night tonight, I think, man.
It's a good time.
All right. Well, RecBCQ also reposted their tub stream memes in general chat on our Discord server to celebrate the return of said stream. So if you're in our Discord, scroll up on general and check that out for sure. Next up, we've got another pair of super chats from Disney Duncan for $7 total. Thank you very much. One of their main criticisms of Mortal Kombat 11 and Mortal Kombat 1 is forcing to be online, or forcing you to be online to play single player modes. That is always messed up. I actually was not aware
I
that
didn't
was
realize
the
that
case
was a
for Mortal
thing.
Kombat 1.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize that
is-
was a thing either. I need to test
Yeah,
that.
sure. I
It
hadn't
might
heard
not
about
be
that.
a thing.
But
I don't know.
yeah, if it is though, that's always scummy. I hate that. It's yeah,
Doesn't
that's a
sound
terrible
right.
practice.
But
Yeah,
maybe
I
I'm
don't
wrong.
know, but I have to look into that. But and then Duncan is also asking, is Sora striking for Kingdom Hearts 4? I sure hope not, because I'm not expecting Kingdom Hearts 4 until like late next year at the very earliest, and that's a long time for the strike to go on. So let's really hope that that the actors get what they want and deserve long before Kingdom Hearts 4 is a factor. And then one more for now from Ruffled Mutt. I love that name. I don't recognize your name, Ruffled Mutt. Thank you very much. $4.99. AI is used to save money, spend too much on development, but can't spare enough for voice actors or writers. It's no excuse, but that's the reason for AI. Yes, indeed. Like so many other things in life, it is all about money in the end, unfortunately. And you are so right about that. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our patron topics for the week. And as a reminder, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/GVGaming, where you can support us at the producer tier for just $10 a month. And among other perks, you can suggest topics like the ones we're about to discuss right now. Also, make sure to check us out on YouTube members. That's a new thing. Definitely do that.
Yeah, you can submit them there too. We'll start
Yes.
doing that next week.
Please do. Please do. And Steve, since you're the bathtub buddy this week, man, why don't you get us started?
All right. I need to get serious about this for a minute.
All
I need to really put on my serious face.
I love
So
it.
I'm gonna get a little closer. Akil P writes, "What's your favorite cookie?" And this means a lot to me. I need you to pay attention to this. So if you don't know, I moved from Arizona to Washington. That's a 19-hour drive. That's 19 hours of discomfort in a car that was built for 4 hours of driving. And I did that in no small part because up in Seattle, there is a place called Hello Robin. And you know what? I got a story for this. Hello
Oh.
Robin has a cookie called the s'more cookie, whatever it's called. I don't remember the name. It's delicious. That's besides the point. Ash, you'll remember this. So one night, I decided that we were getting this cookie. This was several years
I know
ago.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
And we were walking there with the founder of a certain gaming website. I won't name it so that people don't find out who it is.
Yeah.
But we're walking and it's a couple miles away. And suddenly our colleague stops. The founder of this website stops in the middle of the street and hunches over. And Ash and I are very concerned for this person. And we walk over there, and we'd all been drinking. We were all a little drunk. And Ash and I kind of walk over to this guy, and we're like, "Hey, man, are you good? Are you okay? This is a, we're worried about you." Showing genuine concern for this person. And he looks at us and he goes, "Guys, I really need to take a shit."
I mean, to be fair, that's something to be concerned about.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were there was like a whole group of us, and we were offering to like maybe make a barricade around him so he could do his business, but we ended up spending the rest of that sad trip to get that cookie like huddled around with this person hobbling his way. And he eventually ducked into an ice cream shop, and I'm sure that place was no longer safe to eat at. But
Oh no.
the cookie was good.
And that's what matters in the end, right? That's what really matters.
Yeah, we got ours in the end. We got our cookies.
Yeah. As someone who has been that person hunched over, but not near a bathroom, that's a horrible thing to have to go through, and I do remember that very clearly. We've all been there, I think.
We have.
I think we've all been there. Daniel, do you have a favorite cookie, man?
Well, I certainly can't follow up with a story like that.
I mean,
but, we still talking about cookies, or my favorite cookies. I think of any kind of cookie. I think my favorite kind is a good old snickerdoodle.
Nice.
Those are my favorite kinds. That in a classic chocolate chip. There's a place where I used to go to school in San Jose State University, and right next to the bus stop, there's a place called Cream. And I don't know if anyone knows what Cream is.
Yeah,
but
I do.
Cream is a place where you can go and you can get cookies, and they're meant for ice cream sandwich cookies essentially. So I'll go in,
I like
and
that
they
you
have
said sandwich.
just the best kind of ice cream sandwich cookies you could ever get. Just some warm cookies, all kinds too. Like there's a whole bunch, but I would always I would mix it with one snickerdoodle, one chocolate chip with cookies and cream. Cookies and cream Oreo ice cream in between in both of those, and I would order a dozen as well. To go, because I would eat like half chocolate chip, half snickerdoodle. I haven't had it in a long time, and I'm sad because I haven't been there in a while. There's one nearby, like half an hour away, if I really wanted to go out there and get some. But those are like my favorite kind, essentially. So
Nice.
I think if I remember correctly, Cream stands for cookies rule everything around me, which is so true. I can't argue with that. And I've been to Cream once because at least at one point there was one in Westwood, which is like about 30 minutes away from me. I don't know if it's still there. I go to Westwood as little as possible because parking there is horrible. So I don't know if it's still there, but it was really good when I had it. So I hear you, Daniel. What about you, Derrick?
I mean, I guess I'm kind of I don't have any like special cookie places around me. It just sort of is what it is. But I mean, I love myself a good chocolate chip cookie. And as far as, Girl Scout cookies, then we get the Samoas, and those are always so freaking good.
Oh man, Samoas, yeah.
I love a good Samoa.
I have to, I see the Girl Scouts like start setting up outside shops. I'm like, oh God, my poor wallet.
It's that time of year.
Man, Jaden Buck in our live audience chat says their favorite is sea salt caramel, which sounds amazing. I guess
Panera Bread also has the kitchen sink cookie, which is like the sea salt caramel, the s'more, the marshmallow, the chocolate chips, just a little bit of everything. That's pretty good. It's heavy, but it's good.
Nice. I think mine's a fairly straightforward answer. I just love a really good Toll House semi-sweet chocolate chip cookie, like just a little soft, or sorry, a little crunchy on the edges, but soft and gooey on the inside.
Best.
You
That
sleep on
is-
top of the sheets, don't you?
Caught me. You caught me. No, that is definitely my favorite kind of cookie. I mean, any cookie is probably my favorite kind of cookie. Let's be honest, but for me, you can't beat a nice oven baked semi-sweet Toll House chocolate chip cookie, man. That's just that and a glass of milk. Can't be beat. Can't be beat. Well, thank you for that super delicious topic, Akil P. We really appreciate it. And Daniel, why don't you take us away next, man?
So this one's a little look into what we do, how we do things. Mine's from Jack Salmons asking, with October coming up, with tons of different games, how does GVG split up who plays what? Do you all decide in advance what games you want to cover? And I think we're getting into more of a groove of how we're dividing who's going to cover what when things are coming out. So I think more or less, like we're kind of having more reviews done by people who kind of will be more associated or better known for said games. So we have like Steve's playing Spider-Man right now, our Spider-Man guy. I think we're gonna maybe have John or Ash talk more about like Sonic Superstars because you guys are really into Sonic. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it either, but you guys are more known for that, I suppose. Brandon's probably going to be on Mario Wonder because he is the Mario guy. So I mean, we're all going to be playing these games, but as far as like who covers them, I guess we're trying to divvy that up so we can efficiently get things out a bit more on time and a bit more orderly as time goes on. Like, I don't know, maybe I'll be the one. I want to play both Persona 5 Tactica and Mario RPG, so I don't know what we're going to do about that situation there.
I feel like you're probably the best for Tactica, honestly.
Definitely.
Or
we're gonna fight over
like
Super
you
Mario
or me.
RPG.
It's like since I like tactics games, you like tactics games.
If nothing else, if I'm not getting Mario RPG, I'm going to get Thousand Year Door. So that's the trade-off right there.
That's
See, I
think
have zero interest in Thousand Year Door. I want to play it, but I wouldn't want to cover it.
right.
I absolutely will. That I'm going to cover Persona 3 Reload when that comes out as well.
That is so
But but yeah, those are my jams right now.
Yeah, I'd say it really comes down to who's most associated with it and also who has time for it. So sometimes the person most associated with it doesn't have a lot of time at that moment, so you kind of have to pass over to the next person in line and that sort of thing. You just have to make sure the person who gets it is actually able to cover it.
Yeah, because like most of us have outside like full-time jobs or freelance work or stuff to help pay the bills, so there's not always time, unfortunately. Go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say my role traditionally at every outlet I've worked at is to help get the code in for games. So usually I'm pretty embedded in the process of working with the publisher to get the code, which I won't go into because it's different for everyone. But also assigning it out to whoever's going to review it because I'm the one that asked for the code in the first place.
Right.
And so like at GX, I got us Kingdom Hearts 3. And here I've worked on different stuff, but it depends. Like we have different relationships per publisher. So different games, some we get early and some we don't. And unfortunately Nintendo is one of those where we don't. So it depends on like all these guys said, who's available, what kind of time they have, and how long of a lead time we get for a review. Because even if you get a code early, sometimes that means like 2 days early, and sometimes it means 2 months early. Depending on
2 days to beat Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Good luck.
Exactly. So sometimes even if you get it early, it's just not feasible to actually produce good content in the time that you have made available to you. So, generally we try to just dole it out to whoever is available, and it's not going to be an automatically biased review because of their lack of interest in the title. We don't want to just be like, hey, you're free, so you're going to play this game you'll probably hate.
Right.
And I think it only really matters around this time of year. In the game industry, this is review season. Between October and basically late November is when everybody wants their holiday game reviewed. And then you have award season after that, which is when you just play games that came out earlier.
Right.
So we're in the thick of review season now. You probably have seen people tweeting about games like Spider-Man 2 or the new Assassin's Creed or whatever. People are reviewing a lot of stuff right now. And that'll remain busy throughout the end of October at least. So, we just try to dole it out based on what we have and who's available. And if any of these guys ask me for a game, I'll try to get it for them. But it depends on what else we're working on. But great
Right.
question.
Yeah, and it's funny you bringing that up, Steve. Reminds me of you talking about reviews at the old place. It's still like I still think about this sometimes. How funny it was that for some reason Capcom, of course I reviewed all the Mega Man stuff at the old place because I'm the Mega Man guy. And if Capcom ever decides to make another Mega Man game, I'd review them here too. But they gave me a month for Mega Man 11, which is it's a short game. It's a Mega Man game. A month. They gave me a week for Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and 2. And of course, I
the
still
X
have
games.
yeah, but you have, though that if I didn't actually like play them all properly, there'd be some late game bug in like X5 or something that would crash the collection, and then I wouldn't see that, and then I'd get lambasted for it. So I still felt like I had to play it, to make sure they all translated properly, and that was a hell week. A week to replay 8 games and do the new X Challenge stuff. That was not one of my favorite weeks in memory. That's for sure.
My kindest review time lead was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where I had a month to play it, and I still had to just spend every waking moment playing that game in order to beat it in time, because I wanted to be thorough. I wanted to talk about the side stories and stuff like that. Just be as complete as I could. I know I had like 2 weeks for Dragon Quest 11. I forget what it was. That was also me constantly playing, but man, I loved my time playing that despite the constant need of me playing that.
Oof, I remember that too. That was a rough time.
I haven't been here long enough to have any kind of like experience with getting something early, or at least that early in advance. But I think the only example would be when Target sent me Fire Emblem Engage's special edition like 2 days early. I did a video on the unboxing, which was nice to do.
Yeah.
What I didn't know, what surprised me, Daniel, was that you're a gigantic Spider-Man fan. And it wasn't until I announced that I had the game that I realized you even liked him. You've got that Spidey blanket back there somewhere.
Sitting over here somewhere. That fantastic blanket. That it's oh my god, it's like 20 years old now, and there's not a single tear or anything in that, because I love that thing to death. He's my favorite superhero. So I've watched all the movies. I'm super big fan of the way they handle like Miles Morales and like Across the Spider-Verse and those movies as well. And yeah, just excited for Spider-Man 2. I platinumed the other 2 on Insomniac games on the PS5. I just played Miles Morales again earlier this year, so super excited to play this one.
Nice.
I am looking forward to playing Miles Morales for the first time before 2 comes out. I'm gonna sneak it in there somewhere.
I'm not sure what games people associate me with, other than probably Castlevania, but like Ash, when are we going to get a Castlevania game?
Yeah, exactly, right? Han in our chat, in our user chat, is asking, what am I covering? And right now, as Steve kind of touched on, it's looking like I might cover Sonic Superstars, but what we want to do, hopefully, if we get enough codes, is like Derrick and I want to do like a sequel to our Sonic Mania co-review from the old place, where we kind of did a review together. And I think it'd be really fun if we could do a co-review again of Sonic Superstars. So we're trying to make that happen. We'll see. But right now it's looking like I might do Sonic Superstars. So we'll see what happens.
Just so I can be clear, we do not have, nor have we been promised code for Sonic Superstars. So don't take this as us saying we have the game, because we don't.
Not at all. We definitely do not. And what I meant by that also was, even if we don't get code, I would likely be the one to play through it first, talk about it, whatever we do. I'd be the one digging in on it first. So that's also what I meant. But yes, what Steve said is 100% true. All right. Next up, Derrick, what is your topics of this week, man?
Mine comes from Jason Uloa, and I threw them a curveball because they're saying, here's what I'm sure Ash will like. If you were Dr. Wily, what kind of robot master would you design? What would his or her main theme be? And what would Mega Man get equipped with after defeating your robot master? It's like, I'm going to snipe this from Ash because this is kind of fun. That's kind of interesting to be there. So what kind of robot master would I design? Honestly, I like the idea of Toyman. Just all kinds of different toys, make them a little bit more wacky. And you know what? Let's bring an essence of randomness to him, just because there's all kinds of different toys that he could put out there. So we'll put out Toyman, and he could get tossed, just all these other random things. And then defeating it, Mega Man has to deal with that randomness. Could be something really good. Could be a stuffed bear getting hit. It's that sort of like fear of that sort of thing. But hey, the stuffed bear is also kind of useful because it's just so plushy that the robots have to run up and hug it. So you can have some sort of association with that. I was just trying to think of like, we don't need another fire-based robot master or another whatever. And his weakness would be however garbage man, whatever his ability is.
I like the idea of Toy Man being good friends with Top Man too. They'd have to be
Oh, there
friends,
you go.
right?
They have to be, yeah.
Have to, yeah. I'm so glad you took this, Derek, because like obviously I wanted to take this, Jason. Like obviously I did, but I also feel guilty when someone clearly targets one at me, like Mega Man or video game music, because I feel honor bound to always pick that one. But I also feel like I shouldn't just pick the one that's targeted at me as well, right? So, fortunately, Derek solved that problem by picking this one himself. I haven't really. Well, it's funny. I used to think about this a lot when I was a kid. I actually had a binder full of Mega Man 6 Robot Master designs that I like drew myself.
Oh yeah, the international ones.
Yeah, the international ones. And I mean, and I say designs. I can't draw I can't draw for shit. So they were like silly drawings. But I still did like design. I don't remember what they were, but there's a binder out there somewhere. I don't know where it is anymore, of crude drawings of future Robot Master designs. But what would I do? You know what? Y'all know I love anime. Anime Man would be my Robot Master, and his weapon would be the friendship beam, the power of friendship beam.
Oh my god!
Anime.
No, I'm trying to think. Can you tell I'm stalling for time? Okay, I got it. Off the top of my head, I don't think we've had like a psychic Robot Master, like a Robot Master with psychic powers. So I think like Psychic Man, and their power would be like a telekinetic hold, where you have like the gravity hold from Mega Man 5, where all the robots, all the enemies just fly off the top of the screen. Mm-hmm. But this one, you could specifically, like Mega Man would be doing like this kind of animation, and you could actually directionally choose what you're slamming the enemy against. I think that could be really, really cool. That's my answer. Anime Man's cool, but Psychic Man is my official answer, where you could just telekinetically just bounce enemies around the screen. I think that would be neat.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a good one for this.
All right, go for it, Steve.
Mine is Thief Man.
Okay.
And what he would do is he would steal whatever Robot Master power Mega Man used in battle against him.
Ooh, okay.
Forcing you to rely on just your Buster. And so then, when you defeat him, you get his Thief power, and you can temporarily steal the power of any Robot Master you face after that, forcing them to fight with just a regular shot for like a limited amount of time.
I like it. Kind of a very, very, it's like a very meta Robot Master weapon. I like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you get to preview the power you'll get when you beat them.
My only note on that is as cool as that sounds, I love the idea. Just change the name to Pilfer Man, because that just sounds cooler to me than Thief Man. Pilfer Man.
I was trying to stay away from a verb, because it's like Psychic Man and Guts Man and
fair.
Ice Man. Like you never hear verb man.
Yeah,
true.
Fair. What were you gonna say, Derek?
I was just with Squires. Reminded me of Axel.
Oh, nice. So. What about you, Daniel? Any Robot Master ideas, man?
Oh God, I don't even know what realm of like which ones are already.
I know you're not.
Ash will let you know if you repeat one.
Oh, I will. I will.
Oh, is there like one based on like a slot machine? That'd be hilarious. It's like whenever you shoot the weapon, it's like it's a different value, so that it can be like a really strong one or a really like weak attack.
I like that one.
It's like Gamble Man, Slot Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gamble Man.
Gotcha Man.
Casino Man.
Casino Man.
Casino Man. Gotcha. Yeah, I can see it being like a. Oh, good.
Like his body is like the main torso of his body is a slot machine, and it rolls every time you have to every so often it rolls, so that it shows different values of how strong his attacks are going to be, and it might end up being really weak or really strong.
I love how Daniel and I went for both the random element.
And really, Daniel, the only thing that comes even close to that concept that exists already is Numberman.exe in the Battle Network games. Because he like throws dice, and then like whatever the numbers come up, he does more or less damage based on that. But that's not even.
Oh, okay.
That's like only adjacent, though. I think your idea works perfectly, because that's only adjacent to it. So, and it's only Battle Network. There's no Numberman in like the proper platforming games. So.
Oh, I see.
Casino Man. I love it, man. Yeah, good one. Cutie Caitlin said Inafu Man, which is pretty good.
Oh, no.
Pretty good. I don't even want to think about disappointment? Would his power just be disappointment?
He
Straight up.
just makes a really sad robot
No.
that you
Yeah.
can deploy.
No, it's his other name is just Broke Man. So you take away all the energy that the opponent has. Like they can't use their ability anymore.
Nice.
It just drains them completely.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, thank you for that, Jason. That was a super fun one, of course. And then my topic this week comes from Vedran, who asks, what's your favorite reaction moment from a game? As an example, what game moment do you love to see reactions from people who've never played it? It can be your favorite game or anything really memorable. And so I don't know. I've been thinking about this one. I don't know that I have a favorite one, but I do have a recent one. I'm sure I do have a favorite one that maybe I'm not thinking of at the moment. But I can say this for sure in a broad sense. I loved and still love occasionally watching reaction trailers to Smash character reveals because the hype, just reliving that hype just gives you goosebumps, seeing people get so excited for, whomever, Banjo-Kazooie, Sora, whatever. Just, that's always fun to relive. But my own personal one is that my wife and I obviously both love Kirby. He's our favorite Nintendo character. We play through all the Kirby games together, or in the case of Forgotten Land, we played it separately because, if you played co-op in Forgotten Land, it's cool that it's there, but it's not nearly as fun playing as Waddle Dee as it is as Kirby, of course. They're very limited compared to Kirby. So I beat Forgotten Land first, knew everything to expect, so I was watching her play through it. And of course, no spoilers. I would never have spoiled her, but I was so excited for her to get to the end of the game because, if you know, you know, and here we are. And, she loves as I do, when Kirby gets weird. I think we all love when Kirby gets weird and dark. And so the whole time I'm like, I'm so glad she's enjoying the game, but I can't wait for her to get to the end and see that. And her reaction was worth it. She was like, what is, I don't want to be too specific for anyone who might not have played Forgotten Land yet, but she was like, what the? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I told you it was worth it. So that's my favorite recent one where that, the and here we are thing happens and her eyes just got really big. She's like, this is so messed up. I'm like, I know. So that's my recent favorite reaction memory. What about you, Derrick?
Oh man, there's always there's a ton out there that just makes it so much fun. Like you can go simple. Like I always love somebody's first time playing Resident Evil and going by the window where the dog jumps in. That's always fun because it's the first jump scare and they're just not prepared for it, and you get the best reactions out of that. For more story-based stuff, always love seeing reactions to I'll just put it as the midway point of Dragon Quest XI. That's always fun to see reactions to, and
that's true.
The end of Xenoblade 2. But it only really works if they're already a Xenoblade fan. If they're not, it's not quite as entertaining. But if they are, oh boy,
yeah,
for sure.
Right.
And then a recent one that I actually experienced that apparently a lot of people were excited to see, since I'm playing more Final Fantasy XIV on stream, specifically Shadowbringers. All I'll say is I got to a moment that people refer to as Little Sun. And if you know, you know. And that, I can admit, it's a pretty great moment. Like, just fantastic. So there's some of mine.
What about you, Daniel?
Doki Doki Literature Club. I gently opened the door. If you know, you know.
You weren't
especially
spoiled.
before the internet started talking about it all over the place. If you get someone who genuinely does not know what happens, it's gonna do things to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then gosh, there's a lot of I can't pick apart in Omori because there's some parts where the mood will change in certain ways, and people aren't prepared for that as well. Apparently I like a weird flavor of horror. Like I don't like getting scared, but I like the weird kind of like psychological horror rather than like the jump scare kind of horror. And it's always interesting to see how different people react to that sort of stuff. And to something that's not as terrifying, also what actually happens after the casino in Persona 5 when you get the actual the twist that happens and you see everything slowly unfold and the whole like mix of things that happens in those days. Those are probably one of my top ones that come to mind for me.
Hmm.
Nice. Daniel, I've heard the wording. I'm still going to say it anyway. I feel you so hard on Omori because I've only played a few hours of it, but I love that same kind of horror and the way that game shifts from like, a non messed up, screwed up atmosphere to like, whoa, what the? Vedran knows exactly what I mean. Yeah, I totally hear you. That's a great one, man. Steve, what about you?
For me, it's easy. It's the swerve at the end of Red Dead Redemption 1, which came out on Switch. You should play it. If you haven't played it before, it's on Switch now. Give it a shot. But I like you, Ash, I won't go into spoilers, but
right.
My first playthrough of that game, utterly not expecting it to go the way it did, and it is both sad and immensely satisfying at the same time. So take from that what you will. It was one of my favorite scenes in gaming in that entire generation, talking about Xbox 360, PS3 gen.
I've not looked at myself, but I imagine reactions to the Bigfoot quest are probably pretty wild as well.
That's true. That one's messed up. It's like really messed up.
I never got to play it myself, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what happened, Steve, and yeah, that I can see why. Totally. And one that it came to my mind while we were talking is there's a certain thing, again, no spoilers, a certain thing that happens in the Origami King, Paper Mario Origami King. Seeing the reaction to that, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes to see people react to as well.
Also, you just have to obligatory. You have to throw out Final Fantasy VII Eris and Nave from Phantasy Star 2.
Of course. Well, I think that's it for our patron topics this week, then. Thank you so much, Vedran, and everybody else who submitted topics this week. Again, if you want to submit topics just like the ones we discussed right now, head on over to patreon.com/gvgaming, or stay right here and check out our YouTube members page where you can join us at the producer tier and suggest topics like the ones we just discussed now. And for now, we've got a few more super chats to read out, and then we're going to head off to our patron exclusive post show. So first off, we've got TuneJ723 with $5. Thank you, Jay. With a quote, "Snake, don't worry about it. There's more to being a good person than just having a stereo television. You can do it just the way you are." Of course, referencing the MGS story we talked about earlier. Thank you so much for that, Jay. Next up, Leo Flo, back with $5. Thank you so much, Leo, with some really kind words. Best show to tune into every Friday. You guys are the best. I never miss a video and look forward to even more. Well, thank you so much for those kind words, Leo. We really appreciate you, and we're glad to have you in our audience. Seriously. Next up, Purity Chalice with $1.99, and something I think we all can agree with. More Drunk Steve! More Drunk Steve! I think we can all co-sign on that one. Next up, Rec BCQ with $5. Thank you so much again. Quoting Daniel, "I don't know if anyone knows what cream is." Daniel Alba.
Hey, listen. If you
goes
guys
in your
ever come
coffee,
out here,
right?
y'all ever come here to the Bay Area? Well, I'll get all you cream. This is a place I gotta show everyone.
Wow, you straight up went there. You heard it here first. If you go to the Bay Area, Daniel will give you cream. So
you will make
make your own determinations from there. All right, we've got Disney Duncan again with $2 more. Thank you so much. Is anyone at GVG a brony? I don't know. I can say I'm not a brony. Are any of you bronies?
I watched the first 2 seasons, but it's been years. I haven't really thought about it.
Okay.
Hey,
oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of identify bronies as people that have a very unwholesome interest in My Little Pony, and I'm certainly not that.
Fair enough.
Oh dear.
I never considered myself one. I'll put it that way. I just this is a good show, but that's it. That never went really beyond that.
I've never seen the show at all. What about you, Daniel?
Yeah, it was for what I watched, it was a well-written show. I watched some of it alongside with my sisters because they were just at the age to watch that sort of thing. And I was like, oh yeah, this is actually, it's not just the canned cheap, animations they pour out there, because they have some of the people who worked on, like, I believe on the Powerpuff Girls that worked on that show as well.
Yes.
So there's some quality and there's some good value. I don't know how to word it, but yeah, it's worth watching at least a little bit. I think
it's kind of like Bluey, where it's more than what you'd think.
Yeah,
that's what I've heard. Well, I'll have to ask Brandon and John later if they are in fact bronies. I don't know. They'll have to tell us. Next up, Mocha the Orange Bear with $2 asking about a matchup: the Arbiter from Halo versus the Predator from Predators. I have no idea what the Arbiter can do. I'm not a Halo guy. So I guess Predator by default for me. I just know Predator's pretty insane and like scary and powerful. So I guess by default for me it's Predator. What about you guys?
If I remember correctly, the Predator's bomb, like its self-destruct, can take out a whole city.
Okay.
So I would go with Predator.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of similar, but I feel like Predator has more abilities, but he still gets outdone by humans. So, I don't know. I'll go with Arbiter just to vary it up. I'm not sure. I don't really have a horse in this race, so I'll just go Arbiter.
You know, as Jario9 points out in our YouTube chat, Arbiter is Keith David, so there's that. I might be switching over to Arbiter now because Keith David's pretty kind of a badass. So, yeah, maybe my vote's changing. What about you, Daniel or Steve? Any thoughts on this?
I already weighed in.
Yeah.
I haven't really
sorry,
got a
you did,
horse
my
in this
bad.
race either. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, then got a few more super chats coming in. Jeez. First off, Jario9 again with £5. Thank you so much, Jario. Yo, Ash, I always wondered how far into Yakuza 7 did you get? Chapter 12 is a personal favorite as someone that has played the entire series. So forgive me, it's been long enough since I played it that I don't remember how the chapters break down. But I got what I want to say is around 75% of the way through the game. Unfortunately, what stymied me was that stupid business minigame. Actually, what I can tell you is I got to the point where you need, like, it's either 2 or 3 million yen to move on with the story for certain story contextual reasons. And you got to have the money to do it. And unfortunately, I had already done a bunch of the side quests and other things that give you a bunch of money. So the last thing I could do, or mine, was the business minigame, and I hated the business minigame, and that's kind of what, unfortunately, stymied me. And, yeah, so that's as far as I got, but I think that's about 3/4 of the way through the game, so, yeah. Thank you for that question. And then we got 2 final super chats from Duncan again. Thank you so much for $4. It's never easy telling it, by which you mean it's never easy telling who's a brony, I believe. And you love My Little Pony. Well, I could tell because you asked us that question. So thank you very much for those, Duncan. And with that, we have reached the end of episode 76 of the GVG cast. Thank you all, as always, so much for being here with us every week. You know how much we love doing this show with you, and it is our great honor to have you all in our audience. As always, we have to give a special shout out to all of our patrons at the producer tier and above for helping to make everything we do here happen, because we couldn't do it without you and all of our patrons. And also, as always, we have to give an extra special shout out to all of our patrons at the executive producer tier and above. And actually, right before this, we got one more super chat from Feeling Dreepy. $2. Sea of Stars is amazing. Y'all need to play it. I agree. Well said, Feeling Dreepy. Okay, and with that said, our amazing, incredible executive producers are Brandon Bovia, Cutie Caitlin, Fangs, Z Patty, Just Brian, Sky Blue Flames, Eastman23, Adam O'Sullivan, Richard Herrera, Logan Daniel, The D-Pad, Blake, Joy Content, Angel Martinez, Vedran, Joshua Hunter, Benny Yao, Azran127, Black King, Joseph Rutkin, Titus Malvolio, Gigi Griffin, Lucky Wonderfish, Wataniac, Top Dog 23100, Young Ben Kenobi, Andrew Medeiros, Darchi, Becca, Killamox, Michael McCaw, Matthew Wong, Goran Amber CPHT, Too Much Spaghetti, Bane 400, Ascaron 809, Rye Royal, Ryaner, Rain and Clouds, The Game Orb, Super Gamer Dude 101, Grantles, Ravelox, Rosa Pardo Bowling. Hi, C's mom. Skull Kid Tiger.
It didn't come through.
It didn't come through. Oh, that's why. Okay.
He said
Skull
something.
Kid
He's
Tiger.
muted.
Okay.
Oh.
Hi, Mom.
Skull Kid Tiger, Dark Steel 01, Jason Uloa, Jaden Buck, Cystic Warrior 29, DJ Jurassic, Derrick, Colin, Blaystar 25, Mumbling Yeti, Cameron Sharp, Keel, Brendan Hesse, Hustlebun, Noah Fitterer, Calvin Atkinson, Brainchild, the entire state of Wisconsin, Jim Wakeland, Longboy Shiggy, Aramis Baramis, Dylan, Kyle the Monarch, Dat Alpha Lion, Lord Metarex, Blaze Collard, Eric, Cat Evie Person 5, Peyton Thiel, Mega Beatman True Blue Reviews, Jung Ant, Ryan Hanley, The Game Jamie, and last but certainly not least, Alex. Thank you all so much. We are now headed
Thank
out
you.
to our Patron exclusive post show. If you're at our Patron or you support us at on our YouTube members page at the live audience member tier or above, you can join us there right now. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend, good night, and good vibes. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Till we meet again.
See ya.